Hey folks, it's Tony here back with another video, and as always, welcome to my collecting journey. And today I'm a little bit under the weather, as maybe you've noticed in my voice. It's a little bit nasally, so please bear with me. I still really wanted to get a video out to you guys, and I thought I'd try a different format, more of a relaxed, maybe longer format where I really dive in and discuss several topics. And yeah, let's jump right in. So as always, thank you so much for the subscribers. Even though there's only 4, I'm eternally grateful. To the few who took a chance on me, I'm really grateful. And please just let me know how I can improve. I think one thing that I'm definitely working on is not saying so many ums. I think it's just a bad habit I have. So please bear with me. There, I did it again. So just a quick follow-up per my last video. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. It talks about the restock that I have hit consistently, which is this QFC in Bellevue, next to Bellevue Mall. Here's the address, and it's also in the previous video. And the gentleman who restocks it goes there every Monday between 9:30 to 9:45. And I just wanted to quickly touch on this. I told a few people in the Washington Pokemon restock group chat, and one of my friends that I told this to, he said to me, Tony, you should keep that to yourself. This is a gold mine. You don't know how many, and he used the word vultures, how many vultures are out there that are just buying out entire machines. And I thought about it, and I think maybe he's right. Like, maybe I should have only messaged this to specific people who I've vetted and sort of realized that they're not just in it purely for reselling, because there's actually a lot of parents, older moms and dads, maybe in their mid-30s to early 40s who, they have a full-time job. They don't have time to really hunt around for these Pokemon Center machine restocks. So I do feel kind of bad. But on the other hand, every single time these machines have restocked, first of all, the stock is not very high. Every time a Pokemon vending machine gets restocked with prismatic, there's usually only 5 or 6 ETBs. And, they usually get cleared out. So I think my rationale is sort of, if people are going to buy them out anyways, I might as well just let the whole world know, because I'm not going to be the one buying the whole thing out and reselling it. I don't think that's a meaningful thing for me to do in this hobby. I think, as someone who have bought at this time 3 prismatic ETBs and traded one of them away for my Giratina slab, as you guys know, I basically flipped my prismatic ETB. But I would not want to do that at scale just because, as I said, it's not a very meaningful thing to do. So just wanted to quickly touch on that. I don't want to talk about it too much just because, it's sort of a negative thing. Like my friend told me, every time, or not every time, but a lot of times when he's hit a restock of the Pokemon Center vending machines, there will be people ahead of him that are just buying out the entire machine. And it's pretty unfortunate that it's come to this point, but it's also why Pokemon is so successful, so hyped, so lucrative and attractive and coveted right now, is because there is limited supply. If there was mass supply, there wouldn't be any demand. It's kind of, I'm not an expert in Pokemon distribution, but I have been sort of learning and reading about, Pokemon, the company selling their product directly to the distributor so that they don't carry any of the risks. So then they just sell their product and that's it. And then the distributors are the ones who are taking up a lot of the risks. And there are times when it's really rough that the distributors don't make any money because they have to sell to, local game stores, retailers like Target and Walmart and Best Buy at, around market. So the distributors aren't really making any money. So, and then there's times like these where it's the Pokemon boom and everyone wants to get into collecting Pokemon cards. And in that scenario, the distributors are making really crazy amount of money. There's famous YouTubers, as you guys probably all know, like Pokemoncards, who say like a box of prismatic evolutions from his distributor is around $90, $95, which is crazy, That's higher. That's way higher, $30 more than MSRP. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the prismatic ETB a little bit more. I don't want to harp on it too much, but just looking at the prices here, on TCG Player, it's creeping up to 120, even 130. Maybe 130 is a little too high, but there are some sales, which is crazy. I'm not sure if this includes shipping. If it doesn't, that's even crazier. That's one thing I've noticed is, you see these prices on eBay, on TCG Player, but they don't really account for taxes and shipping. So definitely keep that in mind. So you see here like 120 to 130s, right? And then on Facebook Marketplace, oops, sorry about that. On Facebook Marketplace, it's usually cheaper. I've noticed the buyers and sellers, especially the buyers on Facebook Marketplace, tend to be more price conscious and looking for opportunities to arbitrage. So I think with the exception of this 160 ETB, that isn't even Pokemon Center. Most of them are 120, 120, so around 95. I think I've seen a few 95s as well. Maybe those are just the folks who are trying to get rid of them. But that's like a rare case. Most of the time it's around 100 to 110, and now even some examples of 120, which is kind of crazy. Basically a 2x, instantly. And then if we go on eBay, sold listings, it's around 115, around 110, with a few 99s, 90s, sub 100s. But you also got to factor in taxes and shipping. Some of them cover shipping, but there's also taxes. So it's kind of really crazy out there. I think definitely don't overpay for something, especially if you aren't sure if you're going to hold it for the long term. That's why I'm not buying so much right now. It's because I'm not sure where it's going to go, and I just got into the hobby. So I'm being a little bit more cautious and only buying cards like my Giratina V-Star that, I don't care if it goes down. I don't care if it drops 30, 45% in value in a day, because I'm just going to keep the card. I think it's a dope card. It's got this like Sistine Chapel, kind of like, very, very, very ancient Roman, like very, very cool, feels like a real piece of art. So that's just like what I like. But I wanted to bring everyone's attention while we were talking about Pokemon Center vending machines to the Pokemon Center vending machines. I did a little bit of digging. At first, I was just trying to understand, who owns the Pokemon Center vending machines? And maybe that's a question that everyone has. And of course, tada, it's the Pokemon Company. So when I looked into it, there's actually all these FAQs, various FAQs for the Pokemon Center vending machines. And you can see these are all of the states that have Pokemon Center vending machines. And if we go to Washington, which is the state that I am in, because it's the founding state, I believe, of the Pokemon Company International, it has the most Pokemon Center vending machines. So this is crazy, guys. You actually have a complete list of every single Pokemon Center vending machine in the United States. And if you look here, this is the one that I shared, I believe. 10116 NE 8th Street. Oh, sorry, not this one. Wait, let's see. 1011. Oh, yeah, right here. Sorry, that was supposed to be like a cool like detective moment, But, these are all of the locations. So if you actually go up here and search for it, you can find one that is near you, and you should just consistently check that Pokemon vending machine, on a daily basis. And eventually you're going to hit the restock. You don't have to stock people. You don't have to, pay people under the table. You can just, for example, I went every single day at 9 to 9:30 on a Monday, just randomly. I just chose it randomly. And after a week and a half or so, I eventually hit it just because I was consistent about it. And then, if that time doesn't work, you go in the afternoon, for example. But I've noticed they've sort of restocked usually in the mornings. So this is a really cool piece of information. And, when you look at the other states, let's just go to Arizona. there's also a lot. Wow, I didn't realize Arizona had so many fans. That's really awesome. Maryland, less. So it's not even by any means. Some states have way more Pokemon vending machines. Well, I'm actually surprised. Massachusetts. I would think that Massachusetts has a really big population of Pokemon fans. So maybe they're expanding, but this is a really cool piece of information. And digging into it more, I was like, how many Pokemon vending machines are there? It's around 200 in the US as of March 2024. Really interesting. So if we do the quick math here, there's about 200 Pokemon Center vending machines, and we can assume they get restocked on a weekly basis, maybe as a baseline. And everyone wants Prismatic right now. I've seen usually they've restocked them in a small quantities, I think, to keep the hype high, I think. And usually it's around 5. So, 5 times 200, is that 1,000? My math is bad. 1,000, exactly. There's about 1,000 new Prismatic Elite Trainer boxes entering the US market via Pokemon Center vending machines on a weekly basis. Honestly, that's pretty good. I think eventually it'll sort of catch up and meet the demand of Prismatic. But for now, it's hard because a lot of the resale folks are just going to the vending machines and buying it all up. And even if you aren't, quote unquote, a professional reseller, you're still going to hold on to Prismatic and not open it because of the resale value is so high. So that's sort of an interesting thing where nobody really wants to open Prismatic. I've heard several YouTubers say, shout out to It Was Never Just a Phase, really awesome channel. I watch him a lot. Just like a really interesting time we live in with the Pokemon Center vending machines. I think it's really cool, honestly. I looked into a little bit more, and it's completely operated, or at least owned by the Pokemon Center or by the Pokemon Company International. And it seems like they work with local stores and they maybe split the revenue or profit. And then there are also other third-party companies that do the restocking on behalf of the Pokemon Company. So, there's usually a narrative, or the conventional point of view is that Pokemon doesn't do any distribution. But I think in this case, Pokemon actually sort of have their hands in distribution. And I think the Pokemon vending machine is a really, really awesome way to go direct to consumer. And, it's not super high work for them. I mean, they do have their own, website where you can go and order Pokemon Center stuff and then they ship it to you. But, the Pokemon Center vending machine is sort of a really low maintenance way to get products direct to the consumer without a lot of fees or overhead. And I think it's honestly really, really smart. There's even people who say, can I buy a vending machine? Because it's kind of a no-brainer if Pokemon is selling out in such a hot and high demand manner. What I would be interested in owning a Pokemon vending machine, or maybe going into this venture with a couple of friends. But unfortunately, I think maybe they have a really, really long line of folks who are lining up and wanting to have the Pokemon vending machine in their retail stores. So I think for now, we might be out of luck on that one. This is a funny question. There are cameras. But yeah, this is a really, really cool piece of information. I hope you guys utilize it. I hope you guys find a store near you that has a Pokemon vending machine. I think that's probably the best way possible. Now, I also wanted to do a review of my Pokemon collection from a financial aspect. Pokemon is not the best way of investing. I think, you should still have your main investments in stocks, in bonds, in the brokerage accounts. But it's just really fun and interesting to review your collection. So I thought it would be fun to take a look at the price that I purchased the items in my collection for and around how much they are going for now. So I think, and then we'll sort of see like the net total of like how much I have spent, and then where are we sort of in the plus and minuses, So you can't see, but I have my collection back there. And I'm gonna sort of just write down the items I have. 151, oops, Tony's collection value. 151 ETB, spent 140, current value. How much is a 151 ETB? I think, let's go for marketplace. Actually, eBay, let's go for eBay. 151 ETB, just a rough ballpark. Oh wow, that's pretty high. Honestly, the 151 ETB is such a classic design and beautiful design as a display item. It reminds me of the luxury brands, like maybe it's Louis Vuitton or like Hermes or something, where they have like I think it's Louis Vuitton, where they have like small letters of the LV like scattered across like an orange box with like red brown logos. It sort of gives me that like really like luxury, really cool look and feel. And then guys, we're not gonna include shipping, just because, you know, if we're doing this, we're probably gonna do this on marketplace, so we're gonna be pretty frugal. So, and we're not gonna look at like the UK. So I think you can fairly call this at around 180, I think is safe. So we've already made a $40 profit. It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's kind of hard to say it's $40 for sure, because a lot of times the people who are buying it from you are also trying to resell themselves. So they'll take in items at, you know, an 80% discount. So you got to factor that in. But, you know, just going to keep it as flat value right now. 151 ETB, Crown Zenith, ETB, purchased it. Actually, this was the amazing deal that I got, $85. But I had to drive a really long way. Good thing I have a Mazda sedan, guys. That is one of the best fuel economy cars out there. What? Crown Zenith, ETB, 110. 105. You know, we're just gonna look at TCG Player. Actually, the UI is just simpler. Crown Zenith. I love the recommended results on TCG Player. It's just so clean. Really helps you find what you're looking for. Oops. Crown Zenith Elite Trainer Box. Oh my god. I keep on. Okay, I'm just gonna press enter. Yes. Crown Zenith. Oh wow. Okay, that's kind of crazy. Around 110, I think. Oh, 116. That's crazy. Okay, let's just me in the middle and say 110. Sorry guys, I'm a little slow today, so bear with me. Prismatic ETB spent. I think retail before tax is $49.99, so let's say 55, and I have two of them, so 55 times 2 is 110. 2x. Yeah, let's do that. Spent current value. Current value is, I mean, I would say like 110. So, you know, double 210, 220. And then Obsidian Flames ETB. I just really like the way the ETBs display. I know on a value basis, the booster boxes are much more efficient, but I think that's just like the collector side of me who really likes displaying the ETBs. Obsidian Flames, Elite Trainer Box. Wow, 90. That's crazy. 85, 89, 90. Oh my god, actually a lot of them going for 95. Let's be in the middle and say 90. And I spent 65. And most of these were local meetups on Marketplace. Current value is 90. Shrouded Fable. Let's go. I love the Monkey Dory card in Shrouded Fable. It's so dope. I know people hate on Shrouded Fable and say it's pumped up. But Pokemon Center, ETB. Spent, I think it was $59.99 before tax, and shipping was free, which is dope. Shout out to the Pokemon company. After tax, maybe 65. Shrouded Fable, Pokemon Center, Elite Trainer. Oh my god, I clicked on the code card. Who is searching for the value of the code card, man? That's so funny. Pokemon Center. Okay, yeah, hasn't gone up too much, but pretty good value. There's a big range actually, almost a $10 difference. 79, 96. That's crazy. That's the thing with Pokemon, guys. It's so volatile. It's not like the stock market where it's at equilibrium. Even the stock market has inconsistencies or discrepancies where people can really take advantage of that and arbitrage. But Pokemon is even like a more prime example, because by the time you're finalizing a deal, the things that you are dealing with probably already changed in value. So it's really ripe for arbitrage. 80, man, should I just say 85? Because there's ones that are almost 100. I'll just say 85. Or should I say 90? It's such a big range. Let's say 85, just to be on the low end. And then I love how all of this is so, it's all in fives and tens. It's so divisible. Twilight Masquerade, ETB. My spelling is horrendous, guys. Please bear with me. I bought this in the Pokemon Center vending machine. So it was retail, which is 55. If you guys see here, I didn't really overspend, at least on items that I could get for retail. The only thing that I probably overspent a little bit, I mean, even the 151 ETB, $140 is kind of insane on a per pack value basis. If you do 140 divided by 9, it's $15 per pack. I mean, you also get the Snorlax promo, which is great. But if you just want pack value, you probably get better off with the booster bundles. Unfortunately, 151 doesn't have a booster box. The current value of Twilight Masquerade. How do I spell Twilight? My spelling's so bad. Twilight Masquerade. Twilight Masquerade, TWM. That's funny. 65. Okay, around 65. I feel like we can pretty confidently say 65. So already up $10 in value from when I bought it, which is, like 1 or 2 weeks ago. I'm hopeless, guys. I'm a spelling fraud. Oh my god. Twilight Masquerade. Surging Sparks. To be honest, guys, I don't actually think the cards in Surging Sparks are actually that interesting to me personally. I think, the Pikachu, the Lapras, those are really cool cards. But I honestly just got the Surging Sparks ETB because I thought the ETB was so beautiful. You got this like Pikachu with like the diamonds and the crown on his head, and then it's like shiny on the side. Really dope. Wow. Okay. So I got this like in early January maybe, and it's already gone up quite a bit. 100? That's crazy, bro. 100, oh my gosh. 85 is not even a reach. I mean, it should be 90. Let's say 85. I mean, spent 65. That's the thing with TCG Player. It gives you a quick grasp, but it isn't always the most accurate. You know what? We're gonna do 80 just to be safe because it says 80 here. Silver Tempest, guys. I love the Rayquaza VMAX from Silver Tempest. I'm trying to get that in the PSA 9. So please let me know if you have that. I'm trying to collect all PSA 9s because that's just my weird thing. I feel like 9s deserve their love as well. It's kind of dumb, but yeah, let me know if you have a PSA 9 Rayquaza VMAX from Silver Tempest. Just a beautiful card in my opinion. Okay, Silver Tempest, ETB, oops, EB Games. Oh my gosh, 35. Okay, this is definitely fake. Like, there's no way. 0%, yeah. 57, 53, 55, 65. Okay, this is just a ginormous range. I think I bought it actually for $49.99 before tax, so 55. So actually this one hasn't gone up in value. We're just gonna say 55. Paradox Rift. So these like less popular ones like Paradox Rift, or not less popular, like just more readily available. I got all of them from local card shops. And actually, I mentioned this in my first video. Local card shops probably are one of the best places to find price opportunity because they have a completely different point of view, I believe, on value of things because they're not a big box retailer. They need to move supply and sometimes they might be more willing to go lower. So this Paradox Rift ETB I got at my local car shop for $39 before tax, which came out to a total of like $43 after tax. 43, which is just crazy. Really good value. I was like, there's no brainer. But in other places, like in Target or Walmart, I was seeing this for like, 49, which is just like a really big range. Oh my God, 60s? Okay. I'm cool with 60s. Let's just say, oh my God, 74. That's crazy. Let's just say 60. Paradox Rift. Stellar Crown ETB. Another one I bought from a car shop. I believe this one was actually not a very easy number. I think it was $42. Let's just call it like before tax. So let's just call it like 46. Let's just say 45. Stellar Crown ETB. Okay, Pokemon or TCG Player. Okay. Okay, it's probably still around the same. I mean, there's probably, yeah, we can say 50 on a good day. I mean, it hasn't really moved. Temporal Forces. It's really funny. For Valentine's Day, I kind of messed up. I didn't get my girlfriend flowers. She was a little bit sad, but she's really awesome. She never really like gets on my case and stuff like that. I thought I was doing something cool because I opened one pack of Temporal Forces because I knew she really liked Gengar, and there's Morty's Conviction in Temporal Forces. Let me just show you guys. Morty's Conviction. This is a really dope card. It has like Gengar sort of like popping out, like half exposed, and it's like all purple. And you know, I wanted maybe the chance to pull this card and surprise her, but just one pack, and there wasn't, I didn't hit it, but I basically drew like my favorite photos of her into the same size as a Pokemon card and then resealed the pack. So I basically surprised her that way. But, you know, fellas, you should still get your girl flowers at the end of the day. But don't be like me. She's not upset or anything. She's really awesome. But, you know, you should still get your girl flowers. 53, 50, 55, 50. I mean, we can say 50. Current value is 50. This one actually went down in value a little bit, I think. Temporal forces. Yeah, I believe this one was 55 actually, after taxes. And then Astral Radiance. I was so fortunate to stumble upon, I think it's really hard to stumble upon Sword and Shield ETBs nowadays even. It's like a Lost Origin ETB, which I still have yet to get my hands on, is like going for like 70, 65 to 70 on Marketplace. But like mostly 70s. Even though it has eight packs and no promo, which is crazy. Which is why I think Crown Zenith is the GOAT ETB, guys. Like, it has 10 packs and a Lucario V-Star promo. That's crazy. It's so much value, you know? Astral Radiance, this was actually pretty cheap. It was, I think, 50 after tax. It was 45 before tax. Current value, Astral Radiance. It has the really cool cards like Palkia and Dialga origin form, and like the stairs, and like really beautiful design. Also, I just think Darkrai is such a cool Pokemon. Growing up being like playing Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Darkrai was like big in that game. And yeah, always a really dope Pokemon. 55, 65, 65, 60, 65. Just say 60. Yeah. And then the king, oh, don't forget the 151 booster bundle. Spent, I think, 30 after tax. Current value, I think this is like 55 to 60. Let's just say 55. And then, of course, guys, we can't forget about the star of the show. Giratina V-Star. PSA 9, baby. Spent. I mean, how should I do this? Because I traded for it. Current value. I think it's around 200. Yeah, that was around the value that I agreed on. So let's leave this blank for now after we do the calculations. All right. And then we will, let's just add this up. Total spent, total value right now, not cashed out, which is really important, guys. I think it's important to not think that you have this instant liquidity. 140 plus 85 plus 110 plus 65 plus 65 plus 55 plus 65. Oh wow, actually a lot of 65. Searching spikes, yeah. 55, 43, 45, 55, 50, plus 30. Oh my god. This is kind of rough. I've spent so much. 836. 836. I mean, it's not that much, you know, but it's not a small amount of money either. Current value 180 plus 110 plus 220 plus 90 plus 85 plus 65 plus 80 plus 55 plus 60 plus 50 plus 50 plus 60 plus 55. Not bad, guys. 1,160. Actually, no, I should count this because this is basically free because I traded it. Oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I traded two 151 booster bundles and then a prismatic ETB for the Giratina V-Star and a PSA 9. So you got to add another 200 to it, so 1,300. 1360 minus 836. Oh my god, that's crazy actually. Total, what is it, 524. Total profit. Total unrealized gain. 526? 524. That's crazy, guys. That's actually insane. I mean, almost doubled. Or, yeah, like, that's crazy. Well, this was really fun, actually. You know, and as always, you got to account for fees, guys, for these platforms like eBay. It's really, really cool experience, and I'll do another video because I do have some eBay purchases coming up that are getting shipped to me, so I'm gonna make another video about that. But you should keep in mind delivery and taxes, because shipping and taxes, because you know sometimes that can be like $15, and that eats away the entire margin that you've gained by trying to find a really good deal. And the last thing before we close out is just, you know, like, take it easy. Don't be too hardcore about fighting each other. I mean, everyone is trying to benefit for themselves, for their family, for their friends. And, you know, at the end of the day, we're just all people who really enjoy the hobby. I mean, there's definitely folks who are on the nefarious side. I mean, to those guys, you know, maybe take it easy as well. It's not, you don't have to squeeze every single dollar out. Maybe you can be like me, a little bit in the medium, you know, and meeting a little bit in the middle, you know. Most of my gain, I think, came from me, quote unquote, scalping or reselling the prismatic ETBs I got. I mean, yeah, because I purchased 3 prismatic ETBs now, and I've traded away one of them as well as 2 151 booster bundles. So that was like a large chunk of my profit, but I didn't do it to an extreme end, you know. I didn't buy out a whole vending machine. I don't think I've seen, like, usually it's pretty civil, like there's no like actual physical altercation, but you know, it's not worth it. It's just a hobby. Try to have fun. And I'll keep this updated as our journey continues. So, you know, as always, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And yeah, take care. Hope you like this type of longer form content, and let me know what you think. All right, take care.